So, I don't know if everybody's aware of this or not, but a lot of talented comedians practice their jokes and don't know which ones. So it's like over time you develop and you know what people react to and how they react to it. So you just kind of like have your you just kind of rattle it off like you're hammering nails, like a nail gun. That's like honed in, and the ability to use a platform to analyze your to look at your own analytics is a a function of the um, platform itself that looking for a type of content that people would want to see. So it's a malicious, and we already know. We say YouTube is malicious, but it's actually a malicious actor that is in YouTube that's to stop it from just the ability for people to go to university in a sense of like now they have the worst spokespeople ever, like what I mean, like the worst spokespeople ever. But even if you make mistakes, like you could see, like that's why they took away the thumbs down so that you can't dislike something, and they just disguised it and they said this is how this reason it's to keep stop bullying, but it's really to keep people from developing their honing in their abilities, purposing it for however you like. Then they want to cut out a they want to mold and cut out a type of spokesperson that don't have to do any work. And it's just how absurd. It's just how absurd. You would have to have all the resources in the world to think that you could waste on engineering a new customer instead of serving customers. But it's like in the art of the deal, like if you're dealing with someone who doesn't cut fair deals, like they have cold feet. It's like you can have customers or you can have social engineered customers that you don't have to serve, and they don't want to work a deal with you because they think that you might be able to, okay, so that's like gonna take some years, and so we hear about this like 2025 or 2025. It's really 2028, and uh, it's like Trump has a cease and desist. What's it called? He has a gag order. So he only way he can operate is to fall into the 2028 Olympic cities plan. So he's going to say things that are, you know, where all of the little fall guys and all the little like Democrats that sold their soul and everything, you can sacrifice those. I'll give you a monster that you can kill, and the people can witness that you killed the monster. But he's going to still say some things that goes right along with Olympic cities, and it's not necessarily the Jews. Like, they're not the only ones doing that, you know? It could be Trotskyite socialists from England who funded the Bolshevik Revolution in the past. So, they won't let us hire Chinese or something like that, like because we have to be their enemy. So they're going to allow them to replace themselves by creating the machine augmented machine learning platform that's going to replace them. Okay, all right, see. And it's like there's nothing they can do about it. So they just like all recognize that they have to fall in line and do their little part because that's all really that they have. Like it's all they have. We got to do. It's like you're cutting down the last trees so they can build the Spanish Armada. Like India and China. They're cutting down the last trees in a sense because they're going to be replaced. America's in the service sector right now, right? Like where they put the service sector makes sense too because it's like they don't want it. It might be too good. We don't want it there. We have to keep it over there because we don't want this until this, and then it's the bilateral. So they got to be bilateral with it. And then if they run into a problem that they would have to fix it in one way, they might be able to resolve it before they have to run into it. So they approach this like, we'll build these smart cities here and there and everywhere first, and then we won't have to contend with that will, like another non-state power brokering entity that would prefer to do things a different way. So like because everything is like, you would never accept this. They would never allow anybody to attack Israel, but they could just drive bulldozers in and people strapped to a kite. What the fuck? It does. They don't even care if this shit is so ridiculous that you can't believe it because the masses would believe it. The masses even, to back it up, are appeal to consensus for their, their confirmation bias kind of lean toward, everybody can't be wrong, right? All right, that's just the hive mind. That's just a big fire ant colony that we can move out and come back later after they clean everything out, and they're just like the fire ants. And so it's funny how there's some rich people getting the advance notice that property in Los Angeles area is going to be undervalued, like slowly start to make deals. And then there's also some homeless people that are going to be like, this isn't going to be a good place to live in a little while because the Olympics is coming. And then there's some like Jews in Israel that are like, they're making this place almost unbearable, impossible for anyone to want to live here, almost seeming that the Zionists don't want or need Israel to be Zion anymore. They're the jet set, the ones that are established in other countries and jet set have to. It's like they need to be a minority. It's like you already have the power and you already have the wealth, and you just need that minority status. So it's like they just make it hell on their own people. Same thing you could say they do in Africa, but in Africa, it's usually because there's some resources or something. So they block aid and food and stuff to their own people. They won't let them have it, right? It's like, they're not the only ones doing that. Like, Africans aren't the only ones doing that. The Israelis. Whatever you can say that white people are doing, black people are doing it. Whatever you can say that black people are doing, I can show you an example of white people are doing the same thing in a different way. And it's not tit for tat. That's pointless. Why would you want to go tit for tat? It doesn't speak to the issue. It doesn't help. It doesn't cause. It's not causality. It's just like some kind of tit for tat scorekeeping that could be like a distractor, some distractions. So that's why people create this illusion of inclusions, is to get people to leave who say things in the chat that's trying to get the channel in trouble, or to get people to leave that are not really going to do the deep dive thing, you know? And they commonly on the street, if you run into people that they're always telling you that they're trying to exclude us. They're trying to exclude me because, and you're one of us, and you look like me, and we gotta stick together because like all these people here, they're all this and they're all that. Like, it's like, he doesn't know nothing about. He hasn't really experienced enough of his own culture to even. It's weird you worrying about them all the time. I don't have to expose them to a derogatory, like, you just have to. And this thing is like I could put this in front of his face and they wouldn't be interested. They just keep talking. They just keep rambling over shit. You know, it's not me saying it, it's this. I'll get the resources and I'll put the reference. The cell phone, you can use the cell phone for a lot of that shit. And they'll just ramble over it.